Oprah has been on a downward spiral recently, and one of the reasons is due to her lying about her weight loss, and her fans are mad. When Oprah stepped into showbiz, she was bigger in size compared to other stars. In fact, her weight was actually used against her disguised as jokes. This happened when Joan Rivers was hosting The Tonight Show in 1985 during Oprah's first ever national TV appearance. Oprah recalled the incident in her book Food, Health, and Happiness, writing, "It was all going smoothly, I was starting to settle in, and then it happened. Joan interrupted with perhaps the only question I hadn't prepared for. So, how do you gain all the weight? Wait a minute, did she just use my national television debut to ask me why I was so fat? The studio started spinning. The word fat reverberated in my brain." She continued by saying Joan sat behind Johnny's big wooden desk, telling me that she didn't want to hear my excuses and that I shouldn't have let this happen. She wagged her flawlessly manicured finger at me, pointed out that I was still a single girl, and challenged me to come back 15 pounds lighter the next time she hosted. Now, this was obviously a horrible thing for Joan to do, but after this, Oprah didn't want to be known as that fat girl and started her own weight loss journey that had many ups and downs. Now, in the past, Oprah said, "It was public sport to make fun of me for 25 years. I've been blamed and shamed, and I blamed and shamed myself." One hurtful moment came early in her career when she landed on fashion critic Mr. Blackwell's list. "I was on the cover of some magazine and it said dumpy, frumpy, and downright lumpy. I didn't feel angry, I felt sad, I felt hurt, I swallowed the shame, and I accepted it that it was my fault." So Oprah then worked on herself, but not in the best way. Now, one controversial moment regarding her weight loss was in 1988. Now, she started her show off by taking off an oversized coat and wheeling out a wagon holding 67 pounds of animal fat, the amount she had lost in less than 5 months. It was full of theatrics. Now, the episode drew huge attention, earning the highest ratings in the show's history. However, years later, Oprah expressed regret about it, stating that it was simply an ego trip, and admitted that she eventually regained all the weight back. That's not all with her weight though, as she's recently been in another controversy regarding it. In December 2023, Oprah told People magazine that she had been using an unspecified weight loss drug in addition to lifestyle changes to maintain her healthy weight. "The fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight and staying healthier in my lifetime feels like a relief, like redemption, like a gift," she said in her cover story. "I now use it as I feel I need it, as a tool to manage not yo-yoing." But before that, Oprah said she'd been tied to the idea that maintaining a healthy weight was a matter of sheer willpower. But here's the thing. Oprah had been the face of the brand Weight Watchers for over like 10 years. And I mean, she promoted it all the time and swore by it. But then in 2024, she decided to step down and stop working with Weight Watchers altogether. It seemed like she didn't need them anymore now that she started taking the weight loss medication. Now, many people have said that she's a sellout and that everything she ever stood for was a lie. And to be honest, I can't really blame people for being upset over this. Now, it's very likely that she's taking Ozempic or something Ozempic adjacent, and a lot of people feel tricked and are upset. Not to mention, not everyone can afford to go on weight loss medication, and it's just like everything Oprah stood for was a lie. Recent controversy, though, has to do with the recent presidential election. Kamala Harris had a lot of celebrities endorse her, and one was Oprah. But Oprah did not come for cheap. The Washington Examiner had reported that Oprah's media company, Harbo Productions, had received a fee from Harris's campaign for the interview they did in September. How much did they pay her? $1 million. Now, once everyday people found out about this, they were furious, as to Harris's campaign sent out a bunch of messages to civilians asking for donations for the campaign, and fans were not happy that some of their money went to Oprah, who has a net worth of $3 billion. Now, honestly, that just seems like she's being super greedy. Now, it was then said that Oprah donated $150 million to the campaign, but that was false too. Nicole Nichols, a spokesperson for Oprah, told USA Today that the show host had not donated to Harris's campaign. No donations to Harris from Oprah nor her company, Harpo Inc., are listed on the Federal Election Commission website or Open Secrets, a nonpartisan research group that tracks US political spending. Now, Oprah has then then come out though saying she was paid, but it was for her production company. "I was not paid a dime. My time and energy was my way of supporting the campaign for the live streaming event in September. My production company, Harpo, was asked to bring in set design, lights, cameras, microphones, crew, producers, and every other item necessary, including the benches and the chairs that we sat on, to put on a live production. I did not take any personal fee. However, the people who worked on that production needed to be paid and were. End of story," she said. Now, an insider from the Harris camp backed that up, noting that no one was compensated, but that per campaign rules, they are legally required to pay for costs associated with appearances, including production, travel, and costs for their crew. The $1 million from Harris for president was only about meeting campaign finance obligations, and specifically said event production in its itemized statement. But on an Instagram post about the situation, one fan commented, "Y'all are thinking Oprah's support can be purchased is beyond me." Now, Oprah herself responded in the comments, saying, "Thank you so much for saying this. I want to high five you and give you a hug. Usually I'm reluctant to respond to rumors in general, but these days I realize if you don't stop a lie, it just gets bigger." But it's important to note that this isn't the first time Oprah's been questioned by the general public about funds. In early August 2023, a series of wildfires broke out in Hawaii, and it was devastating. Now, in light of the tragedy, Oprah and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson took to Instagram and TikTok, and in a video they introduced their new collaboration, the People's Fund of Maui. They said that the relief fund was intended to raise money for Maui residents who had been affected by the tragedy. They claimed that because people were so confused about how to help Maui residents, they sought to create a fund that would directly provide residents with relief. Now, in a lengthy caption, the pair wrote, "We're honored to announce the People's Fund of Maui, a fund putting money directly into the pockets of those who were affected by the recent wildfires." They then put $10 million of their own money into the fund, but people started questioning this as they were confused as to why the celebs were asking everyday people to donate instead of their celebrity friends, or even them just funding it themselves. Again, Oprah has a net worth of $3 billion. Now, people start calling them out on social media, and instead of taking this critique, Oprah hit back and made things worse. All the online conversations being slammed, lies, conspiracies really took the focus off what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui, she said on a CBS Mornings appearance. "I was on the ground talking to lots of people, trying to figure out how do I best help." Oprah and The Rock then thought about they have both given to charity their whole lives, and felt like starting with $10 million worked because it was enough to kick things off before opening the Maui Wildfires Fund up to people who wanted to help but didn't know how. "I was so excited about it. Then I got up the next morning and I saw all this vitriol and I was like, whoa, what happened here?" she said at the time. Well, that's all for our Oprah video today. Now, what do you think about all this? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.